bipartisan group of senators has come to a deal on gun safety legislation. 10 Republican senators are co-sponsors, which means it likely has the supermajority it needs to pass the Senate. The deal was reached following a renewed effort to pass tougher gun laws following the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, that left 21 people dead, including 19 children. NPR's Susan Davis has more.
If signed into law, this would be the most sweeping gun-related legislation Congress has passed in decades. While it would not restrict access to guns, it would make it tougher for people under the age of 21 to quickly obtain high-capacity weapons like AR-15s. It would invest in red flag laws that allow family members or law enforcement to take weapons away from people who could be a danger to themselves or others, as well as create tougher penalties for gun traffickers. It would also provide more money for mental health services. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has already pledged it will get a floor vote soon. Susan Davis, NPR News, Washington.
Russian forces are attacking a chemical plant in eastern Ukraine where hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers and civilians have taken shelter. NPR's Greg Myrie reports Ukrainians say they are still in control of the plant.
According to Ukrainian officials, Russians are firing on the Azot chemical plant in the embattled eastern city of Severodonetsk. The city has become the focal point of the war, with weeks of heavy Russian shelling turning into street battles in recent days. The Ukrainian governor of the region is warning that Russia could soon encircle the city. The Russians have destroyed 2 bridges leading into the city, leaving only one more that can be used to resupply Ukrainian troops. Ukrainian leaders say they are simply outgunned by Russia's artillery and are pleading for additional heavy weapons from the West. Greg Myrie, NPR News, Kyiv.
In a blow to Emmanuel Macron, a new left-wing coalition has tied the French president's party in the first round of parliamentary elections today. NPR's Eleanor Beardsley reports the results are a shock for Macron, who has governed with a large majority over the past 5 years.
Macron was reelected in April, but now his party and a new leftist Green coalition are neck and neck after the first round, each with about a quarter of the vote. The final round runoff is next Sunday. Far-left firebrand Jean-Luc Mélenchon put the coalition together. Speaking after results came in, Mélenchon crowed that the presidential party was beaten and defeated. The vote shows French discontent with Macron and where the country is heading. Mélenchon has promised to break with a capitalist system he says is worsening climate change and destroying the social fabric of France. Without a majority in parliament, Macron will have a difficult time implementing his agenda. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Paris.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says Turkey has, quote, legitimate concerns over terrorism and other issues that need to be taken seriously. Turkey has accused Finland and Sweden of supporting Kurdish militants and says it won't back the 2 Nordic nations joining NATO until they change their policies. Stoltenberg says no other NATO ally has suffered more terrorist attacks than Turkey, given its proximity to Iraq and Syria. After decades of military non-alignment, Russia's war in Ukraine pushed Finland and Sweden to apply to join NATO in May. A pair of NASA satellites aimed at tracking tropical storms from space failed to reach orbit. That's according to the private company charged with launching the mission today from Cape Canaveral in Florida. From member station WMFE, Brendan Byrne has more.
The 2 satellites were set to be the first of 6 in a constellation to survey the development of tropical storms from space, a mission called TROPICS. Private company Astra Space, which has only attempted to launch about a half-dozen orbital missions so far, said the first part of the mission launched according to plan, but the upper stage of the rocket's engine shut down early, and the 2 tiny satellites failed to reach orbit. A previous NASA mission by Astra Space, launching from Cape Canaveral back in February, also failed to reach orbit. A follow-up mission in March was successful. NASA's chief scientist tweeted that while the agency was disappointed in Sunday's failure, there's value in taking risks. For NPR News, I'm Brendan Byrne in Orlando.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.